Hey everybody, my name is Jacob Guyman, and this is another episode of learning how to code in a database better. Today's topics will be database security, and I hope you enjoy. Today we will be covering a few different topics with database security. We will be discussing how to manage people, how to encrypt a database, and how to use data validation. One of the biggest security risks that a company can have is in their employees. The employees are what run the business on a day-to-day basis, and in such they have data that can be very sensitive and dangerous if it were to escape and get into the wrong hands. It is important to educate employees on such topics as phishing, keeping their passwords up to date, and knowing the proper channels for how to go through to receive data through a database. A database administrator can provide greater security for the database by limiting access through software means and through physical means to a database. They can limit the access through software means by encouraging employees to always set up secure passwords and keeping them up to date. They can also limit the amount of users to the database to those who will be directly interacting with the database. Securing a database through physical means can be done in several different ways. Often, it is simply just by putting your database in a secure location. And if your database and backups are stored in two different types of hardware, make sure they're also stored in two different locations that are also secure. Finally, if you run web connections through your company, always be sure to make sure that your web servers and your database servers are separated. That way, if your web server is compromised, your database will remain secure. Data validation is also incredibly important for database security. A reason for why this is so important is that of SQL injection attacks. In a SQL injection attack, a malicious user inserts a SQL statement into a user input field, and from there has access to the entire database, where they can add, retrieve, or manipulate data there, or even destroy it. And so to prevent that from happening, here are 3 different ways that you can validate data. You can validate data through parameterization, white and blacklisting certain information, and through syntactic and semantic evaluation or analysis. When writing a SQL Server query, you are able to use parameters, which are passed into the query arguments and can be used. When you pass in a parameter into a query, it checks it against the existing database tables. If the things do not match up, then the query will not run. Whitelisting refers to if you can only use certain characters. For example, you can only use alphanumeric characters instead of being able to use backslashes and garrets. While blacklisting refers to not being able to use certain phrases or characters. For example, you cannot use backslashes, you cannot use carets, you cannot use phrases that are common in SQL, such as select, update, drop. Syntactic evaluation refers to looking at the syntax of a certain phrase or input. You would look and say, is this input what we're expecting? Is this input that's supposed to be an int actually a string? Meanwhile, semantic looks and it actually evaluates those phrases. It takes a look and it says, alright, this date input, is it between this range of dates? Is it not? The last but equally significant type of data security is that of encryption. To encrypt something means to take a certain bit of data and provide a cipher to it, a key in which jumbles the data and makes it difficult to read, write, and interpret. Encryption is a very complex subject, and there's a lot of different facets to it. For the sake of this video, we will only discuss one type of encryption, and that is Microsoft's TDE, or Transparent Data Encryption. A TDE is Microsoft SQL Server's native form of encryption. It is included and it is very simple to use. TDE secures the information that is in persistent storage, but not as it is being transmitted. So when using TDE, it is important to make sure you secure your data as it is in transit. To learn more about TDEs, encryption, and data analysis, please feel free to click on the link below. It is a link to my drive, and it will show you some of the research that I've done, and it will provide you links to the other sources. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I hope you're able to learn a little bit about data validation, data encryption, and how to help manage your employees to make it more secure. Thanks for watching.